today, now I know I've started like this and there's a reason for that, but today I am going to talk to you about a little bit of inspiration when you feel like you just kind of lost your mojo and you're like, oh my goodness, what do I do? How do I get my mojo back? How do I just get back in the groove, really? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hang on, I'm just going to move my computer around the other side. Here we go. And I decided yesterday, after having a bit of one of those days when I was like, oh, I just don't really know what to create, I thought to myself, you know what? The best thing I can do is go back to the source and go back to having a look at why it is that we scrapbook and maybe getting out and getting some of that inspiration back. So I went through an old folder of photographs that I haven't been through for a long time and pulled out this absolute beauty. Now, I'm on my son's iPad, so you'll just have to excuse the fact that it's going to take me a while to get everything organized. Do say hello if you're jumping on. Today, this is going to be my inspiration. So there's two things I think really that inspire me when I'm feeling a little bit low and what to create. And that is looking back on my photographs, finding out whose faces, like you look through all your photos and you just think, oh my goodness me, I really just don't have the oomph to keep going. Hello, Janet, lovely to see you on. And this is one of the things that I think for me really helps. Hello, Carmen, nice to see you on too. And so I think going back to photos that we have, hello, Linda, warm and sunny Pittsburgh. Oh, you're all on, fab. And I just thought, yeah, it's two things. It's the creative, what I like to create creatively and just playing. And I've talked a lot about that. And then it's about going back and getting those photographs that mean so much to us and that really kind of evoke an emotion, if you like, if that makes sense. So that's exactly what I've done with this one. I've gone and I've said, okay, I need a bit of inspiration. Let's go and have a look. And then I've looked through my book and I've gone, well, what is it that's inspiring me to create something? Okay. So then I come back here and I go, oh, I love that. Oh, I'm going to try and create that. Oh, I love this flap. I'm going to create that. Oh, I really love that shape. I'm going to work with that shape. And so today I'm going to do a bit of a mixture. And this is a really lovely thing to do. This is volume 4, by the way. Hello, Tammy. Chilly day in Arizona. A warm up. Hopefully this will warm you up. And I really loved this. I really loved the idea of using this. Everything's in reverse. Why is everything in reverse? What happens if I change that? No, put that back. How weird. Okay, well, I'll just carry on. It doesn't really matter, I suppose. I'm not using words. Anyway, I'm going to work on this rainbow because I really just loved it. And I thought, you know what? I really want to create that. I don't want it to be on this shape. I actually think I want it on 12 by 12. So the lovely thing about something like this, in fact, now I'm going to need to pull back out again because you're not going to see the whole 12 by 12, is you can then go in through it, particularly a large photo like this. Now, I know I've got 3 photos on there, but I'm going for a large one. You can choose the colours out of the photograph that are really going to enhance what's happening. So I've chosen, just because they're so gorgeous and they're on hand at the moment, I've chosen the green and the yellow from that. These are all from Heart of Spring kit. I've gone a little bit of the mustard there, a little bit of the hearts, and then I'm just, you see what I mean? Like I'm really playing around with both sides of those. So let's first of all create that rainbow, okay? Now the way to, in my opinion, the way to create that rainbow is to build yourself a template. Let me move them out of the way. I'll keep it on this darker colour so you can see it. So I'm building up my own template here. The lovely thing about building a template is that you can then reuse it for anything else. You can, you don't just throw it away. You just keep it there. And it also helps you sort of practice a little bit of art and dimension. But I'm going to show you a really simple way of creating this rainbow, okay? So the first thing we're going to create are these 3 lines down here. Okay, so there's the first 3 lines. Now it actually starts halfway across the paper. So that's the other consideration. Where do those lines sit, which will mean how big is that arch? Now, I won't get too technical, but it starts halfway. So then I'm going to draw 3 lines that start halfway across my page. And I want them to be relatively thick because I actually want to be able to, now you can't see that, so I'm going to do it in a big, thick black pen, or in this case, big, thick red pen. Okay, orange, whatever. That is the starting point. And then what you can do if you want is then create, if you like, where they're going to join. 1, 2, 3. And that will then help you. All you're doing is joining the lines together, and anyone can do that. Okay, so that's a really lovely, lovely technique. Now, the thing is about doing these dots is, and this is why a pencil's so much better, is that you can sort of play around and go, actually, I want the arches to be quite a bit higher. So actually, I want my first dot to start all the way up there. And then I can join them up, okay? And then I actually want my second dot to join there. 1. I'm not doing this very well because I can't get my hand directly under my thing. And then the next one I want to come all the way up, like so. Okay, and then you'll end up with 3 lines that make, this isn't very good around here, 3 lines that make your rainbow. Now, like I say, I mean, that looks absolutely naff, but when you cut it out, you'd be surprised at how kind of well that comes out. My recommendation to you with a modern arch, and this is kind of like everyone goes through stages, don't we? We have fat rainbows, we have thin rainbows, then we have fat hearts and thin hearts, and it's all whatever's in vogue at the time. Go with what type of rainbow you love. So if you like a wide rainbow, go with a wide rainbow. You know, this used to be kind of, we all kind of like them like that, and then just people have now been going and doing them like this. You know, do whatever rainbow you like. This design is definitely elongated. Okay, so that's what I've gone for. So if you want an elongated, then just start a little bit higher and then do your turn. A little bit higher and then do your turn. Does that make sense? You will then end up, once you've cut them out, with something like this. Okay, three sections of template. That was the other lovely thing about using a template, guys, is that you can then decide where you want it on the page. So you might actually want your rainbow facing that way as per the sketch, albeit it's the other way around for you guys, I know. You can then have a real play around. The other thing that you can do is go, oh, I don't like this edge. That edge is looking a bit weird. I might choose to cut that part and go with a bit more of a rounded bit at that part of the rainbow. So it's a nice, really nice technique to have a play around. Now you can do this with any shape, and you've seen me do it with bunny rabbits. I know Carmen's done it with a mushroom, whatever. Now the other thing to say, once you've got your template, I can now start my base in whatever medium I like. So for example, I could pull out a watercolor. This is, Maddie did a watercolor on the weekend, right, with all her colors in it. And I could pull this out and I could say it was really, really colored. I could then layer my sections, and even if one had to fit that way or whatever, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that actually because then it would be on the back. But you can layer them up and then you can choose the colors and cut it out from that. So that's a really, really nice technique that you can do. Now, the other thing, and I was having a chat with Carmen about the quantity of washi tape we have in our lives, right? And I'm always putting them in kits because I just love them. The Monet ones were absolutely gorgeous. Thin ones, fat ones, coloured ones, gold ones, you name it, we've all got it, right? Now, this is another thing that you can do. You can create an entire piece of paper with all your washi tapes on. You might want to go lengths or something like that. Add your rainbow template over the top and then use that as well. Okay, now I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to use the 3 colors that I've chosen. Then I'm going to do something in the background on my white, maybe that will be a little bit of cloud, or I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm anticipating. So what I'm first going to do is choose my colors based on my photos. So the first one and the smallest one is going to be this particular burnt orangey kind of one. And the other lovely thing is this is another opportunity for you to change out your shape. If you wanted to go with fatter rainbow lines, you've got loads of opportunity to do whatever you want at this point. Now, you might want to stick yours down temporarily just to make sure. You can do whatever. Right, so that's that one done. Let's put that one over there. Now, the next one, I think I want this one in that green, which I think is on the back of this one. So then I'm going to have a loop of green. And again, like I say, I can place it anywhere I like on my page. I'm sorry if I'm out of shot, guys. And this is a fun one to do with kids as well. Making rainbows is such a fun thing to do. All right. Probably should have pre-done these ones. Sorry, guys. Now, this is, if you've just joined us, this is all about how to get a little bit of inspiration when we're feeling a little bit sort of slumped. And my one today was choosing a photograph that I hadn't seen or scrapbooked for a long, long time, and then choosing some fandangle design that I think would be fun to execute today. So that's my 2 tips that I want you guys to come away with. Now, the last color, I was thinking of pink, because the pink, I mean, look at how gorgeous that yellow is. The pink is the kind of nice complement to the green. So I think I'm going to go with the pink with the final one. Now, look, like I say, you can change these. You can use your inks. You can make these out of watercolors. I mean, you can do whatever you like with these. I'm trying to think of all of the other things that you could use. You could collage. That was one thing I was going to do this morning, and I thought, oh gosh, no. There's no way we're going to be able to collage in time. Oh, I've just lost the tip of that. I'm just going to slide that down. We definitely don't want to lose the tip of the rainbow coming into the edge, but I suppose you can always cut it off and make it a bit shorter. All right, so this is the last bit. Now, as you know, I don't just like sticking paper down on paper. It loses its depth, if you like. And so, again, I'm going to run through all the different things that you can do to make it pop. Obviously, you can put your dimension tape behind it. That's a big job. Might be a bit pricey. So you might want to come back and just rough up the edges, which I think I'm going to do. Another lovely idea with the rainbows is to actually put some faux stitching, or to stitch it. That I might go through and stitch these on. It's kind of got a fabric feel to it, hasn't it? Like these rainbows. And it really reminds me of a mobile, you know, that you put above children's beds. That's what it's got, that sort of feel to it. I don't know why. We had a beautiful one in our house as kids. Or I don't think it was our house, or whether it was my auntie's house, that was made of clay. And it was just gorgeous, and just such lovely memories of that mobile. All right, so I'm just finishing off those edges, just trying to get a bit of colour around those edges. I think that would be nice. Now, the next thing I'm going to want to do, so I think I will go and stitch these, actually. I think that's going to be a really nice thing to do. Let's put them all in and see how they're going to come up. All right, there we have our line. Now, I'm just going to make sure. Oh, I really, really want to make sure I'm in shot for you. It's hard being in reverse, but I can't work out how to change that. So, maybe I can change it here. Every time I go something on this system, it's sort of, no, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk it. Okay. So, let's stick those down ready, because I think it's important that even though you're going to sew them on, stick them down first so you don't kind of lose their position. Now I can come in quite close, which I think I really, really like. And now I know in the sketches book it was 3 photographs going along, which is kind of like a cloud, really, isn't it? And I really like that. But with mine, I'm going to stick with them being quite close. And then I'm going to position my photograph. It could be at the bottom of the rainbow. It definitely, in my opinion, needs to be overlapped. I think there is some element that it needs to be overlapped. So I might do something like that. Now, the other thing to consider for me is I feel like I really want to leave that bit hollow. But actually, I know what I am going to do, guys. There's 2 options here for me with how it looks. One is I come in with the heart paper and that sits underneath. Oh, yeah, definitely the heart paper that sits underneath. Or the other thing that I could have done is stenciled behind that heart. It instantly is now making that all part of what it's meant to be. Does that make sense? Like it just felt a bit bland, a bit off, and all the rest of it. Now you see we've got this black and white heart paper behind, and we've got this photograph sitting quite forward, which I love. And he's so strong in that photo. I feel like I can go a little bit more crazier. I'm going to put a splash of dark paper behind him. Now there's a few dark elements in the photograph. And there's, we've got this bit here, which is the seat he was sitting on, and the cupcake, which is chocolate brown. So I'm going to come in with a little bit of dark, like a dark brown. Is that dark enough? Yeah, I think it's dark enough. That'll do. Because it doesn't even have to be. I don't want it to be perfect. I am really just looking for a splash of colour. And I'm not going to directly matte. I'm going to just position off just slightly to the side. So you barely see it, but it just makes him stick out that little bit more. You see that? Just a little bit of difference. Might even have it a bit more wonky. Let me take my hands off it for you. And I will get rid of those for you as well, because if I was looking at that, that would really bother me. Let me just see if I can go a tad higher. I know it's wonky. Hang on a minute. I can do this, guys. I can do this. I'm a smart woman. No, it's going to flop down. How frustrating. There you go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? For you. There we go. Okay, so it's slightly positioned on the wonk. This either the photograph or the mat. So that's the thing I need to work out. Do I want the photograph to be on the wonk, or do I want the mat to be on the wonk? I'm going to just bring it in a lot closer. I don't want as much on show. And like I say, because I've got lots and lots of space, I really can come in now and just add as much as I want to really help tell the story. So for me, there's a little bit of journaling I really want to add in this. I know where we were at the time. I've got this amazing amount of white space here on my photograph that I can stamp on as well, which would be fantastic. I'm going to put a splash of this black behind it. Just see the difference again. Just always about just adding. Look at that. You've instantly got such a better finished look by just adding that in. Oh, I'm so sorry, my camera's just all over the shop. There we go. So really all I'm going to add on to this is a title. I might add some flowers. I might make some clouds. Oh, that's what I want to make. Let's just quickly make some clouds. And I'll just show you how I make a cloud. So a couple of options to make a cloud. Obviously, you can freehand draw it, which is a fab thing to do. You can just draw 3 bumps like so. Let me get my big thick pen out again so you can see how I'm drawing these. And this paper, this is my shopping list. I don't want to go on that. Here we go. So you can draw your 3 lumps, sort of kind of basic cloud. All right, and cut that out. You've got a big fluffy cloud. Or what you can do if you're not confident doing that is grab yourself some washi tape. I might use a black one just in case I draw on it. Grab yourself some washi tape and get your 3 circles, one a little bit higher in the middle. Okay, and even if they don't come back down, don't worry about that because you're not going to be cutting that bit. Maybe a little bit lower again. Right, and then just join your 2 lines up. Might go a little bit lower, okay? And there's a nice simple cloud. And then you can just go in and you can cut it out. Mine's in bright orange, which is going to be really tricky to camouflage out, but never mind. And in fact, I think I've got something on the back as well, which is really going to be a problem. But what if so let's get my template again. Remember, we've got an opportunity to fix it up however we want, which I love. So there's my template. What about if we choose another color? There was that yellow I wanted to use. I've got a bit more of the pink because now we can have some fun and we can just cut it out whatever color we like. So here we go again. And you might have a die and you won't have to do all of this, but gosh, I love creating stuff like this. It's so rewarding. Go, oh yeah, we drew that. And I've shown you some nice shortcuts today. So hopefully give it a go. Don't be put off by the amount of, see, look, as soon as I put it on there, I go, oh no, I need a flatter bum. I'm going to go back and get a flatter bum. Perfect. And then I love a little bit of that yellow as well. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of yellow for my cloud. And then I might even do it in green as well. And I just need to double this up and you're going to get 2 clouds. And then once you've cut them, if you want the different shapes and sizes, then of course you can just go and make one smaller. Just follow the same line around. Doing it as 2 is probably not the smartest idea, but here we go. Let's chop that bit off, make it a bit easier for myself. Here we go. And this is going to create 2 different coloured clouds for me. Okay. Beautiful. Now I've got another few clouds as well. Oh, put the white one in there. Oh yeah, that was the one I needed. What am I on about? There we go. Look at this. We can even tuck them out the back. And it's just like collaging. That's the best description. You know, you are literally collaging your way through scrapbooking. That's how I see it. And I love collage. I absolutely love it. I'm going to leave that little one off the edge. He's just a bit too long for me. I want my rainbow lines to be a bit closer. Now again, like I say, I'm just going to whip out the sewing machine if I've got white thread in there, which I should have. Oh, I can't see whether I've got white thread in there or not. Okay, and then I'm going to stick my photograph on. Now this probably does need a little bit of dimension tape, so I think I'll come in and just put a little bit behind there. Really want that one to pop. How are we going for time, guys? What's time? Oh, 23 minutes. We have done well today. No technical issues as well. Well, hopefully there's no technical issues. I haven't seen any technical issues, so that's good. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and put my dimension tape on here, like so. Oh, don't you hate it when the little sticky bit doesn't come off? Someone said to me, and it is true, if you peel directly back like that, it works. The iPad's just draining with battery. Okay, I need to sort that out. Okay, so then we just come back and pull them off. We can stick our clouds on. And this is when we can have a little bit of fun, actually, because remember, I just want that really, really thin line coming in there. Because I can slip some behind, some down the bottom here. Where's my yellow one? I'm sure I had a yellow one. Didn't I have a yellow cloud? Here it is over here, look. And I always think clouds have this lovely sort of stepping that happens with clouds. Now, the other thing I'm going to do with the clouds, I'm going to have to go because this battery is going to completely not work in a minute, is I can stamp on those images as well with some of these beautiful words. So, in short, if you lack a bit of inspiration, grab your favorite medium, grab your favorite designs, flick through your ideas book. This is volume 4. You can grab this one with the link that I've put inside this live. Basically, it gives you so many ideas. That's a really good starting point. So are your photographs. They're a really good starting point. And then just go for it and have some fun. And don't forget, you can cut things out. Build yourself templates. That's what you want to do. And in fact, I'll keep these templates now, particularly with my clouds. And I've now got that for life. Same with the bunny rabbit I did last week. All right, guys. If you're in the Kit group, you can either, if you're in Facebook, stay in Facebook, and I'll be jumping on there in about 5 minutes. And for everybody else, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye for now.